YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Movie Zone, starring me, your host Jonathan, aka the Doctor Movies. And today I'm going to talk about a little film that I just recently saw. Kind of a late movie, but you know what? I just saw it for the first time, and I figured I'd talk about it. Well, this is Hotel Transylvania 2. And you know what? Before I talk about it, I gotta let you know about the first one. A little bit about the first one. If you've never seen the first one, this movie is about the story of Dracula and all his monster friends. And Dracula, he basically builds this hotel to, so that the monsters from scaring people in the world can come and relax and have a vacation time. So he builds this hotel for all the monsters, the Mummy, the Wolfman, the Invisible Man, Swamp Thing, you name it, all those monsters. And, things go according to plan. He's having a good time. Dracula does have a daughter, Mabel. And, everything's going good. He's having fun. He's doing his thing. His guests are happy. A lot of good things are happening. Until one day, a certain human by the name of Johnny pops in and causes a little bit of chaos. Being the only human, and Dracula is basically freaking out. And, that's basically it about that one. So if you've never seen that movie, you should check it out. It's really good because a lot of things happen in that movie. I would get into it more, but I'm here to talk about the second one. So in this one, Dracula's back, played by Adam Sandler, and his daughter Mabel, played by Selena Gomez, I believe. And this time, her and Johnny, the human, who she fell in love with, they got married, and now she has become a mother. She has a son. And now Dracula's the happiest grandpa in the world, and he wants one thing and one thing only: to keep to make sure his grandson becomes a vampire, because he knows he's half human, half vampire. So he just wants to make sure that he's gonna stay with them, because he still sometimes doesn't trust the human world. But even though he does a little bit, because due to the fact that his daughter married a human, so he's kind of 50-50 with it now. So now he just wants to make sure that they're there. In this movie, they kind of have a little reverse now. In this one, Mabel, who Dracula's daughter, she's the one who's overprotective. She's the one who wants to make sure that her son stays human. She doesn't really care if he becomes a vampire or not, because of her genes and half his father's genes. So Dracula's got to keep that in mind. But how he doesn't listen. But then he goes off on a wild adventure to try to figure out a way to make his grandson become a vampire by showing him all places where he learned how to fly, got his fangs. He's trying to grow the fangs out. So, is this movie better than the first one? It's even. I couldn't really decide on which was better, but you know what? There are moments here I like a lot more than the first one, and then there are moments I didn't like in this movie. Well, I'll get into it right now. But the things I like about this movie is how it didn't really go too deep with the same material as the first one. Meaning another human pops in and they gotta protect the secret of the hotel. They didn't do that. They focused more on his grandchild and how he gotta become a vampire so he can stay, so his mother and his father don't move away, and Dracula just trying to do his thing. It does have a lot of quirky moments, but it is pretty funny. There are moments in this movie I kind of laughed, and it was great. I mean, there are also moments in this movie where the chemistry works for me personally, that I think that the chemistry works between Adam Sandler's Dracula and the human Johnny. They work, they work together, meaning that they're just friends. They don't show off that, oh, he's a human, and they keep fighting, arguing. No, they actually come together, and now they basically, he accepted that as his family now. But I liked it and I didn't like it. I feel like they shouldn't, show that more, like he still hates him. But in this one, they kind of felt like they just kind of, like, okay, they're married, boom. Okay, welcome to the family. So I guess, they didn't really explore that too well, so I don't know. But at least it worked, And, of course, you got Frankenstein played by Kevin James, and he was hilarious. Kevin James as Frankenstein, then you got the Wolfman and the Invisible Man. And it was so funny. When he teams up with his boys, it's so funny. They go off, do their thing, they show off their old, hunting grounds of how they became the most iconic monsters. You know, they noticed that a lot of humans, you know, respect them. You know, they don't. I'm not scared of them anymore. They worship them as like rock stars, and they're like, okay. I liked it a lot. I also like the fact that Dracula's daughter had more screen time in this one than this first one. I felt like in the first one she was there, but she wasn't too much. You know, it focused too much more on Dracula, even though it was basically about all of them. But it really focused on him a lot, and not too much on her. So I really felt that that was a weakness in the first one. But in this one, you know, they did a pretty good job with her. They really showed off her powers, that she really does have all the same powers as Dracula, because she really hardly ever used them, except turning into a bat in the first one, but it worked. And Dracula's grandchild, his grandson, is hilarious. He's only 5 years old, but yeah, he can do anything. He's so innocent. He's not sure what he is. He's not sure if he's human, monster. You know, he's trying to figure that out, but it's cute. It's a cute little movie. There are things in this movie I wish they didn't have, like the fact that there's a scene in this movie where you see Dracula's son-in-laws, his parents come to town, and they are confused as hell, of course, that he married a vampire, and they don't know what's going on. I just wish they didn't put them in the movie. It felt like, what was the point of that? I mean, they couldn't just wait to maybe the third one. I mean, they got married really quick in the movie, too. I mean, it's not much of a spoiler if it's in the trailer. They got married really quick, and then the family just comes out of nowhere. I mean, there was no I mean, you could at least waited, or maybe find a way to tell his family, oh yeah, you know, my wife is a vampire, my girlfriend's a vampire. Nope, they come in, they noticed all the monsters, and then I guess they accepted it. Not once did they scream or anything like that. They all got freaked out. And then maybe during the other half of the movie, you got to try to convince them that she's good and la 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 la. No, they just come in. Hi, I'm your new daughter-in-law. I'm a vampire. Okay, welcome to the family. I mean, they didn't really execute it really well. You know, it kind of had this meet the parents vibe, but at least to meet the parents, you kind of understand. She had to go meet the parents in that movie. You know, Ben Stiller, get to know them, and then you know they hated him at first. You know, I wish it was like that kind of. You know what? That his parents came in, Johnny's parents came in, met Mabel, and be like, whoa, 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 we don't accept this. And maybe have Dracula argue with them, and then all this would have been chaotic. But nope, it didn't do that. So I felt that was just whatever. They shouldn't even put that in the movie. Another scene I didn't really like in this movie was Dracula's father came into the movie. And he was only at the end, and he was really cool. But I wish he was like in the middle of the, or maybe in the beginning of the movie, or maybe in the middle. But he just came like near the end, and he did a couple of things, and that's pretty much it. I was like, wow. He had a cool entrance too. He had a really cool entrance when he comes into the hotel. I'm like, that's such a cool entrance, but yet you wait till towards the end of the movie to do it. I'm like, okay, sure. It was funny, but come on, at least a little bit more originality. Anyway, I just think this movie is good. Like I said, does have its problems. I love the first one a lot. The first one I'm going to keep as a 10. I really like that movie a lot. This one, I'm going to give it a 9 due to the fact that it has its moments where it was great. Sometimes it passes the first one for me, but then again it comes back, and then it has certain scenes here I didn't really like with the whole parents thing, and you know his father coming to town. I didn't care for that part much, but the movie was fun. I liked it a lot. Just one of those two little things. You take those two out, it would have been a good 10, but what can you do? Hopefully the third one's better because I actually like these movies. Maybe we'll see some more monsters. Maybe we'll see, we already see the Wolfman and his family. Frankenstein we've seen already. We've seen all of them basically. Maybe we see some other vampires. Maybe he has a sister. Maybe, you know. Who knows? Maybe the kid becomes a vampire. Who knows? You gotta watch this movie to find out because it's hilarious. It's funny. Like I said, a lot of people will like it. Has its moments here and there where it's like, okay, you could have done it better without that too, without those scenes in it. But what can you do? It's a fine little family film. Go check it out. It should be coming out on Blu-ray pretty soon. I got a chance to see it in the theater before it came out of theaters, so give it a try. It's a good movie. If you've never seen the first one, I highly recommend the first one too, because the first one is really, really good. And of course, I think by far these are the best Adam Sandler films now. Not live action, not any movie of all time, but as in this century now, these are his best movies, because I don't know what the heck happened to the Happy Gilmore, the Waterboy, and the Wedding Singer Adam Sandler. That dude disappeared. But in animation, he rocks. Stay in animation, at least that, or try to do drama. But Adam Sandler should just stay here and be fine. Unless his movie's gonna go to Netflix, but whatever. But honestly, I think he's doing a really good job in animated, because you don't see his face. People are not sick and tired of his jokes anymore. He's an animated voice, so it works. So let me know. Did you see Hotel Transylvania 2? Did you even see the first one? Are you interested in seeing this movie? Who's your favorite monster movie? Mine's Dracula. He's the man. Members of a bat. So, and of course, you know, Batman kicked his ass a couple of times in the comic book, but that's a different story. And leave a comment, let me know what you think about it. And stay tuned, because I think I might be doing a little review of a certain trailer tonight that might be coming out during the Jimmy Kimmel show. I'm not sure yet. It might be too late by then. I don't know. I might think about it, but stay tuned just in case. If not, maybe just wait for tomorrow, because it probably will be on. And my thoughts will be on it, because everybody else will be talking about it. But you know, Jimmy Kimmel has to be on late night, so I guess we have to wait maybe tomorrow. But we'll see if I'm in a good mood, which I am right now, because I like that movie a lot. So, like I said, I'll give this movie a 9. Let me know in the comments what you think about this movie, if you ever seen it. And keep it real, and I will see you next time. Thank you, and have a good day.